Hi, hello, and thanks for your call. Good to see you again. I appreciate you calling me the other day and asking about the recent class topic that we picked last Sunday. Our group number 7, discussion group 7 on Olam HaMidos, following Rabbi Kestenbaum books, Olam HaMidos, and we picked up the subject on anger. And if you may ask me why I'm answering this question wearing my black hat, it's because I'm not a black hat. So I'm going to take that off to make a point that I'm not a black hat. I'm just a simple Jew. I can even take my black jacket off, and now I'm a normal person. Here's a transformation that I just undergone. So I'm coming to you to answer a question that, as you said, you feel that the reason we picked up the topic of anger management on our Midah last class is because what is underlying reason for the anger? Can we dig to 100% to find the reason, not 95%? It's like you don't take antibiotics if you don't intend to finish the course. How often do we get almost to the end of the solution, but not really at the solution? And today, when I came from the synagogue, from a Shachrit, it rained a lot. And I thought that the raindrops, the tears of Hashem, because rain is a blessing, but the way it comes out, if you can see, it's raining. And these drops of tears, as you said it to me, when you sit in a synagogue or stand in a synagogue and look around, you can hear the tears of some people. You can hear the emotions. Not just see them, but you can hear how the soul of the person cries. And why is that? And why is it connecting to the anger, you said? Well, because last time we discussed it, that, many people are happy and there's no issues, and some people are not. And they have issues. And usually the issues are not very philosophical. And it's not many times the issues of they really worry about how many hundreds of amot they're supposed to cross the boundaries outside the city on Shabbos, or what happens if you didn't say right bracha, or what happens if you light the candles 7 minutes before Shabbat instead of 2 minutes after. But people have a specific medical problem, family issues, friendship, loneliness, and they want to share it to somebody. And I heard a very good lecture one time, a speech by a rabbi who said that when you pray, what constitutes the strength? Chazak, we need chazak. We wish each other strength. And what constitutes the strengths in a person? When we deal with people who are supposed to be strong, for the man, what's supposed to be a man? Man, real man. Strengths. Strengths, not rudeness, not nasty strength, but actions, decision. Be strong, be a man. But when you pray to God, when you pray to Hashem, you have to be a baby in the arms of Hashem. You have to cry to Hashem. You have to ask Hashem to be kind to you. You have to behave completely opposite as you behave in these under the heavens, so to speak. You still have to be nice, of course, but you can let it loose. And as you said to me, it's difficult to let loose because it's difficult to cry silently. If you notice, on Yom Kippur or Tisha B'Av, when you're surrounded by dozens of people and you get emotional if you want to cry, it's difficult to really cry because something doesn't just let it out fully. You want to be in a woods or in the desert to let out a shriek if you're really in anguish. To release your soul's anguish, and that is unfulfilled if you cry silently. You can still hear the tears of silence, but it requires looking inside the person's heart and following the bloodstream of the soul, because the soul is in our blood. So when you have a bleeding heart, it's our bleeding souls. It's an attempt of our bodies, attempt of our soul to be known, to be presented to you. And that's the active way of being understood. That's why Abraham Avinu, as you told me, sat outside his stand looking for the passers-by to come in. What's the problem? Come on, I'll help you. Let's talk. And not sit inside his tent. Meaning, well, if you come to my tent, I'll help you. But if you're outside the tent, zeu. So that's an example. And when we discussed last time, what are we missing in our specific communities, whatnot, we study, we visit each other on Shabbat, we get together, we have friends, acquaintances. But the missing element you're telling me is you want to come to the shul, for example, and you can have your pain heard. Because our religion tells us the pain shared is a pain relieved. And if it's shared in great extent, it is relieved in a great extent. And we wish we didn't have any emotional turmoils or problems, but we do. So that's maybe what you're talking about. So when we pick up the topic of anger, why we angry? I argue with my wife, I argue with my friend, I argue with rabbi, I argue with neighbors, and when I analyze it, I understand it's not really worth it, and then I can manage it. That's a nice process of managing anger, but fundamental reason why am I angry? Is it because, well, she didn't take the garbage out, and I told her that yesterday, and we agreed, now she didn't, I'm angry, or he. But that's not really the reason. The reason is you have a problem, and you want this problem to be heard. Not only from Hashem, as a baby in Hashem's arms, but for somebody coming into you and say, listen, I can see your tears, or I can hear your tears. Let me give you a hug. Let me give you an emotional hug, at least figuratively speaking. Tell me what's the problem? Nothing, everything's fine. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, see you later. Oh, hold it. Don't say see you later. Are we afraid to pry? If the guy or the gal tells you, I have no problem, so don't push. None of my business. And so we stop, we don't push, and the person remains hurt and cries and difficulties, but we don't want to be intrusive. Is that the right midah? Not to be intrusive? Is that a midah? Is that a good thing? Is that an American way of what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours? Some sages say in Gemara that's the characteristics of Sodom and Gomorrah, actually. What's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. I have my pain, you have yours. We don't talk. We're supposed to share our pain. Pain shared, pain is relieved. Maybe that's the subject. Should we talk? Did I understand you correctly? That's what you told me. And I was thinking of this, and I think you're right. I also think so. So, I didn't see you in class, unfortunately. So, come to a class on Sunday at 9 o'clock so we can expound on that midah. Jewish people, as Rabbi Kastenbaum mentioned in his book, known by 3 distinct characteristics that sets us apart from the world. That's compassion, bashfulness, and hesed, kindness. Those 3 characteristics. How often when we're sitting in a lecture in a shul, for example, do we hear compassion, bashfulness, and kindness pouring over the bleeding heart, the bleeding soul? How many times to wrap the feeling around the arm And do we put hand tefillin first or head tefillin first? How important is that particular, how exactly we need to follow that? Or is it more important to walk out and feel that I feel better, I feel my soul, my heart is relieved? Not because now I know that how many wraps of tefillin I have to put around my hand, or OU, or triangle K, or OK, or star K, which one is kosher, which one, like, oh, now I know, hey, my life is so much better. How critical is that versus how critical is to tears, like in reverse movie, to tears to disappear, come back, and the smile and happiness and balance and content in your heart and in your soul to heal the bleeding heart. So if you come next time, this Sunday, today's Thursday, January 6th, so next Sunday, in a couple of days after Shabbat, we can talk in there too, if you wish, or you can bring the other question. I thought about your question, and now maybe you think about my answer. So come, let me know. I see you on Sunday at 9 o'clock. Shabbat Shalom. And everything will be okay. Mizrach Hashem. It will be all right. Talk to me again. I certainly want to talk to you. Love you. I know Hashem loves you. But I want you to know that I love you too.